A chance at European history beckons. We have never been past the Champions League quarter-finals. Well, today's our best chance. A Barcelona side that's not quite what it once was, not the same level as other Spanish giants such as Real Madrid. So let's go and get into it. The Champions League quarter-final and see if we can reach the last four for the first time with Hemel Hempstead Town. Yes, hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM22 One Club story from Hemel Hempstead Town with me, Daniel. It's part 163 of the Tudor Times today, and we come up against Silvinho's Barcelona over a two-legged Champions League quarter. We've got a couple of injuries, the likes of Herven and Joe, Azoma of course not registered, but otherwise it's two sides that have virtually got everyone fit and have got a real opportunity for success. Now that for us is because we can focus on the Champions League, which we would have done anyway, but the league situation has made that easier. And for Barcelona, they're nowhere near Real Madrid, so they just have to keep going to try and win other trophies. So if you're looking forward to seeing how we get on today, we'll have a quick look at our latest youth intake too, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 videos from two long-term stories. There was a new top 3 on Sunday, which you can find in the eye above, as well as the Viborg playlist and all the other ones too. And there's links down in the description below to all the other platforms, as well as ways you can support the channel. But let's get straight into this because it is an absolute cracker for us. A chance to make history, a chance to edge closer. But let's firstly see what's been happening the last month or so. Because you were with me as we won the Carabao Cup Final in style against Newcastle after just sneaking past Spurs with a classic Louise moment. And in the month after, we were pretty much faultless, to be honest. Had a little blip at the start of April, but I'm not complaining about the result whatsoever. So let's have a look at those 6 games. We played Newcastle in the FA Cup with a rotated side. We nicked it 1-0 with a late Carlos Torres goal in the first half. Then a 4-1 win with our first team in the league. Torres, Anders and a double for a dog who really came to the party. Made it a 4-1 win. Incidentally, Newcastle scorer, a wonder kid centre-half who we have been having a very keen look at in the last few weeks. Moving further down though, we played Shakhtar in a return leg of the Champions League. And we owe an apology to Vitz Rubeck. He scored 5. Gianni Gilby got one on his comeback, as did Carlos Martin. But 5 for Vitz Rubeck, 10-0 on aggregate. Same old story against the greyed out leagues. And to be fair, their best striker was on loan from us, so couldn't play. Against Brentford, we won by 3-0. Adogru and Anders again amongst the scorers. Ledian and Drecker had opened our account in the first 15 minutes. A 2-0 win in the FA Cup quarter-final at Everton. Late goals from Martin and Torres for a fairly rotated side. And in a 1-1 draw away at Liverpool. A crucial result, but it could have been better. We were ahead on the half-an-hour mark through Miguel Coronel, but we were pegged back in the 92nd minute. If we'd won it, the title race would be completely over. For now, it's just probably over. If we have a look at the competition screen, Liverpool 7 behind with a game more played, United 6 behind with a game more played, and City 9 behind on the same game. So with 7 to go, we really should be winning the league. And that's despite the fact we can only get to 91 points, which again isn't massive, but the leagues have been far more competitive at the top in recent years. We've got Arsenal coming up in the FA Cup semi-final. We're only going to worry about that if we get to the final, because the main thing for us here is trying to win the Champions League. It's the only one missing from our CV, and that's what we're pushing on for today. We'll have a quick look at the youth intake between the two legs as well, and it is only worth a quick look to give you a bit of a spoiler. Let's go straight into the first leg, at home to Barcelona, back at our new stadium. And what a lovely place to be playing Champions League quarter-final football. Let's have a look at the teams today. Vincenzo Ceccherini has got to be closed down. You may remember him. He was the star striker at Newcastle when they were good in previous years. They lost him to Barca. He's been scoring an absolute bucket load of goals there. And at 33, he's not lost his physicality at all, to be fair to him. So let's go through to the lineup, see who we can pick. We've got some decisions to make on the bench and on the outskirts of the squad. We've got fatigue for the likes of Davris. We've got Stamatis just coming back from injury. But who do we pick in our starting 11? Let me just have a quick think about this and we'll be back to go through the team. Do you know what? I'm going to stick with it as is. So this is the 11 we're going for today. Murillo starts in goal against Spanish opposition. Chauvin and Class are the fullbacks. We've got Zaruk and Davris centre-half with Andreka anchoring just in front. Stamatis, Coronel and Martin make up the rest of the midfield diamond. And then Adogwu alongside Gilby up front. We've actually got 5 strikers finding form now. It's a unique position to be in. Azoma the only one not really scoring. So this side is looking pretty good. Let's get into the first leg against Barcelona. Let me know in the comments if you think we can make history, or are we going to be dumped out in the quarters again, and by a Spanish side again too. And boy, did we forget about another big angle to this game. Look at the Barcelona midfield. Club legend for Hemel Hempstead, German Morera, is starting centre mid for our visitors this evening. They've also dropped Keelan Wynn, who is the English centre forward. He's not even in the squad, so I wonder if it's a fitness or injury issue. But it's 4 changes for us, it's 3 changes for them, and it is one hell of a reunion with one of our biggest stars. I'll never forget the way he left us with that stupid red card, but otherwise, what a servant for the club. We're going to pump the fist, we're going to tell the lads to prove a point, encourage them to do well at home under the lights. But realistically, we probably have to have a lead here because Barca are going to sit behind the ball. They'll be happy with a draw, and in the new camp, they'll fancy their chances. We're just over 10 minutes on the clock here, and we're back with Barca keeping possession, but we're pressing high into their half and we win it back. Davris forward towards Carlos Martin. Through ball to Adogwu. Deflects off the defender. Oh, he would have been very unlucky if that went in. It almost did. It's a good stop by the defender. He clears it off the line. It stays 0-0. 1 shot on target each. No real clear-cut chances. But we are on the front foot again with Stamatis and Coronel the skipper. Up towards Gilby but doesn't quite get through. Ras gets it away to Canyo. Not seen anything from German Morera yet. Waiting for him to get on the ball as it's back to the Barca keeper. And Krub and Fabiano. Nice football, but we're pressing them high and they can't get out. They're going nowhere at the moment as Morera picks it up. They then are forced long, but it's straight to Chauvin. Stamatis picks it up for Coronel. Goes all the way back to his keeper. And Murillo chips it out to Davris. Seemed a little unnecessary. Coronel finds Martin again though. I won't complain if it leads to something. Stamatis back to Zaruk. Presses forward. Got no pressure on the centre-halves. They can just carry it. As Andreka goes back to Davris, who may do the same. Chance to look right. He chips over. Carlos Martin gets there. Poor first touch, but it doesn't matter. Because it deflects off the defender. Falls very kindly for Gilby. And with the keeper already anticipating the first shot, it is Gilby with an open net to play into. And he passes it into the corner. The big money signing has made such a difference this year. He's back to fitness. He's back to goal scoring ways. And we lead 1-0. Although Chauvin's picks up a knock, we're going to have to make a change out there. Bruised thigh, but I'm not taking risks. John Mellon is on with 5 to half time. And at the break it is 1-0. It's not been a vintage performance by any means, but it's solid and we look fairly comfortable. So we're going to ask the lads to see if they can do better. We've got most of them on board. And into the second half we go as Fabiano clears long to Mellon. On the right hand side to Zaruk and Stamatis. Holds the ball up for Andreka and Mellon again. Acres of space to run into. Gives it to Coronel. Man over on the left but plays short to Andreka and Stamatis. To Zaruk. They are pressing the centre-halves a bit higher this time, but we're still finding ways through. That diamond working out. Bit of an overload through the centre of the pitch. Stamatis drifts wide this time though and finds Gilby. To Mellon the sub. Keeps possession under pressure to Andreka. Lovely ball to Coronel. Now the man's over. Carlos Martin with a shot. Goes with his wrong foot. Curls it just wide. Probably should have done better, to be honest. And as we come towards the 25 minutes, we've got fitness concerns. We've got performance concerns. There's a few things we've got to look at. I'm going to take off as my final 2 subs. Coronel, who's really struggling. He's going to be replaced by Alberto Vaz. And I'm going to take off Adogwu for Anders because I feel it's important we get goals in this tie. And Anders gives us a better chance at that. So 3 changes made. We lost 1 due to injury, of course. And although that means Stamatis has to risk 90, although the centre-halves are struggling, Class is having a poor game. I feel like with 8 days off, no game at the weekend, we've got a real chance to progress here. It's a throw for Barcelona on the right. Don't let it be late heartbreak again. Zaruk heads it clear as far as Cunha. Man, we've been linked with loads of times. And he's put an absolute tiddler. Little daisy cutter there. Through Davris, under Murillo. Oh, it's such a poor goal to concede. Really shouldn't be letting that one in. And it's 1-1. I think it's happening again. We're pegged back by Barcelona. We draw the home leg. And with a pretty unconvincing performance, we head to the Nou Camp with a lot of work to do. So let's tell the lads they were unlucky. We want to keep them confident. The bonus, no game at the weekend. But in 8 days, we've got to show up. Back in a minute to see if we do. Fitness test time and some big decisions to make after a lack of cutting edge last week. Herve is not suggested to be in the squad, but do we risk it? Collins and Joe, do we risk it? Because Carlos Martin had little or no effect on the last game. And what do we do up front? This is going to be the sort of game, despite all our achievements, that make or break this career. Do we have a chance of winning the Champions League? Well, tonight we're going to find out. PSG and Dortmund is lock level as well. Southampton went out to Bayern Munich. Mario Rickett and Tyrese Ricketts still going for them. And Real Madrid through against AC Milan. So it's going to be tough if we get to the semis. But who will we face? The rest of the league's going all right for us. City are winning their games. If they win tonight, they're within 3. But we got 2 games in hand. And we've got an FA Cup tie coming up next. But all of that is on the back burner as we go to the Nou Camp to face Barcelona. As promised though, let me very quickly show you the youth intake we had. And I promised it would be very quickly because, well, it was pretty terrible to be honest. A poor intake, no one with more than 2-star potential. Wilson Costa, the best rated. He is a striker who can't finish and can't really head the ball, but is a model citizen, so I'll be signing him purely on that basis. We've got Atul Redhead, good name that is. He's a left-footed left fullback who can tackle, and actually, his balance of attributes isn't too bad. So if he can get working and start to improve, then he might be one that can reach Premier League level. And then finally, we have got a Norwegian right back, or centre half is his actual natural position, but physically he's miles off. I've never seen a centre half over 6 foot who can't run and doesn't have any strength. You've got to have at least one of the two, surely. So that is a pretty poor intake. We have wrapped up our first signing of the summer. Johan Gonzalez is coming on a free from Manchester City. Let's be honest, it's going to be as a gamble as a youth player. Been on loan at Exeter, done alright in League 2, but is nowhere near first team level at this stage. So a gamble on a cheap wage. But let's get through to the team selection. We've got a lot to decide. Leave me a minute to make those decisions and then we're going to run through the team. This is one of those games where when things go wrong, you're going to get a lot of calls, a lot of emails, tweets, whatever it might be, saying, what on earth was he doing? I've put Kevin Herve in at left fullback despite being nowhere near fit and out for 3 months with a fractured lower leg. I've put Collins and Joe straight back in as number 10 because he's such an improvement. Frederick Anders is in up front, the top 2 scorers both start. And John Moore, all of his experience, legendary status at the club, he comes in goal. The rest of the team stays the same, but it's 4 big changes for a very big match. Can we reach the Champions League semi-final for the first time ever? It's 1-1, we're going away from home. Let's go and find out, because the odds are stacked against us. So 4 changes again for us, and a bold call from Silvinho for Barcelona. Keelan Wynn is back in alongside Ceccherini to add real goal threat for Barcelona. But out of the squad goes German Moreira. I want to see if he is available for selection, because if so, that is a huge call. We know how good he is. There are not many better centre midfielders in the world. So let's see what on earth's going on. Keelan Wynn, brilliant player. Really top level striker. Scored almost won a game in 44 caps for England. Has scored goals everywhere he's been. Someone we tried to sign back when he was at Watford, but the wage demands were too high. In terms of Moreira though, it's got to be an injury surely. It is. Moreira's out with sprained ankle ligaments. Otherwise, there was no doubt he would have played. In comes a more experienced man in midfield, but this is absolutely huge. Through the tunnel interview, we're going to go. We've got the lads mostly up for it, apart from the aggressive Anders, who always seems to be in a bad mood. But let's go and get into the second leg at the Nou Camp. Please, let us deliver something special. We have to get through to the semis. Well, we're back with 7.5 minutes on the clock as Gilby's brought down running through there. He's going through on goal. You've got to send him off, Fred. Oh, he's done it. I didn't think he was actually going to do it. I mean, I was having a go for it. I can see why, but I thought he would have given a yellow there. There were players around them. I know he's quick, but still, that is a surprise. We're now playing against 10 men, and if we're ever going to have a better chance, well, I don't think we can afford to miss out on this one, let's put it that way. Pedri's got the ball in the holding role, finds Fernandes as we're pressing high again. Ras picks it up on the left wing. Cuts inside. Krub gave away the goal in the first game with a poor pass, but here we go again as Barca are working forward. Still very good on the ball, so being down to 10, it might not affect them so much, and not if we get opened up like that. Ceccherini chips over the bar. We were so open at centre-half there. Thankfully, it comes to nothing. Barca had no shot on target, but we've got to win. 82 minutes against 10 men. We do not have an option to fail here. We're going to encourage the lads, the attacking players, just not getting on board. Frederick Anders, he looks so miserable, and I'm not quite sure what's caused it. PSG are leading Dortmund in their tie. Mailton could be making the semis as well. But at half-time, we've got no cutting edge. We cannot find a goal, and I'm not sure what to say. I'm going to pump the fist, say we can get a result here. Frederick Anders, can I have a chat with you, son? You look very aggressive. Come on, I've got faith in you. Looks inspired and motivated. And Joe, what can I say to you? There's no pressure on you tonight. Seems motivated. Maybe those little individual chats start to make the difference. But it's a Barca free kick early in the half. Crow at the front post. Good header away from Chauvin. Stamatis comes forward. Long ball is pretty aimless. There's nobody there. And Fernandes picks it up at right back to Fabiano. Chance to play inside to his centre-half. He's returned back now. You can see Joe pressing up, trying to make it a 3-on-3 at the back there. And Coronel's nicked it in midfield. Chips up to Gilby, wins the flick on. But it goes over the bar. He couldn't control it under pressure. Unfortunately, it stays goalless. But we are getting into the ascendancy. We've come out well in this second half as Stamatis tries to release Gilby. Headed away as far as the Greek again. Gives it to Joe on the edge of the box. Curls just wide of the near post. The keeper was beaten, but so was the woodwork. It stays 0-0 again as Dortmund are back on terms in the other tie tonight. How are we not leading in this match? We have been dominant so far, and particularly in this second half, we have really delivered a good performance, but there is nothing more to show for it at the minute, and I think we're going to have to make changes. Herv's playing well at left back. I'm going to leave him for now. Chauvin will come off for John Mellon. He's struggling at right back. Mellon, bit better going forward. And up front, Anders will be replaced by Young Adogwu. And in midfield, what do I do? Collins and Joe might not have much longer in him. I'll leave it for now. 10 more minutes. Let's see if we can get a winner. There are 5 minutes of normal time left. Stamatis also returning from injury, not quite fit. We know who we're bringing on. Remember the Spurs game in the last episode. Luiz to the rescue, please. Let it happen again. 1 minute added on, that's all. And we go into extra time. And now I've got no choice. The fourth sub has to be Herv. Because we can't afford to risk his fitness that much. Gilby is anxious. I'm going to say there's no pressure on you. He's motivated by that. But it's got to be Prince Shabinder on. Kevin Herv off. He's a former Real Madrid player. Maybe that will inspire him. But into extra time. We've lost attacking threat. We've still got a great chance against 10. Barca, backs to the wall, defended brilliantly. This is ridiculous. It is now 27 shots, 7 on target, almost 2.5 expected goals. And we just cannot find a way through, although we've got a set piece with Joe. Davris up, can't win the header. This is the sort of game where you're destined to go out on pens, isn't it? As Luiz gives it to Ndreka. Any magic from the Brazilian. Back to Ndreka again. Luiz and Joe. Coronel, Gilby, he's in! Oh, keeper saves it. He gave him a chance though. It's not a good enough finish. Oh, how are we not winning? Seriously. And Joe puts the corner in. Davris loses out. Luiz on the edge of the box. Does he want to have a go? Switches to Mellon, who's got time. 4 or 5 still in there. And Joe to Ndreka. Back to Zaruk. Time to pass. Finds Ndreka. Zaruk again. And he's been brought down. It's a very dangerous position for a free kick. 25 yards out. Just on the angle for Collins and Joe. Make yourself a hero. Right-footed. Round the wall. Over the bar. 10 minutes of extra time to go. That's got to be 30 shots up. It is. The expected goals edges closer to 3. And we've still drawn a blank. I am utterly speechless at this. How have we not won this football match? And how are we going to penalties? If we lose this, it will almost be a crime to football. Here we go. Penalty kicks decide our fate and our chance to make history by reaching the Champions League semis. and I thought we'd save the first one. Keeper goes the right way, John Moore. He's been a penalty hero for us before, but it hits the post and goes in from Pedri. Now it's Gilby, right-footed. Good pen into the corner. The voice is going, but we're back on level terms. What more can we do as Grinev comes up? A former transfer target. Steps up right-footed, puts it in the corner. 2-1 Barca. This is getting very tense, and going second, I hate it, because you always end up trying to catch up. As Coronel, right-footed, the skipper, puts it into the corner. Good work from him, although I think John Moore might be captain today. He's back in the side. Cunha, the man who equalised late in the first leg to send this tie to pens, puts the ball in the top corner. No pressure on him at all. And Luiz, the young player, has produced so many big moments this year. Don't let us down now. The Brazilian, good penalty. 6 perfect spot kicks so far. All into the corner. None of them easy to save. And now it's the chance of John Moore via left footer Fernandez. Stands big. Makes the save to his right hand side. First penalty that doesn't find the side netting. And my word, does John Moore take advantage. But we've put it up to a teenager, Adogwu. The centre forwards. How on earth has that gone in? He's tried to do the old Panenka. I don't know how the keeper hasn't saved that. He's almost just stepped to the side and watched it go inside of him. If I were Barca, I'd be looking at match fixing there. But still, we're not going to complain. We're 4-3 up. We just have to save this or score our next one. Russ left-footed, v John Moore. Put yourself in the history books. He can't. Down to the bottom corner. It's 4-4. And the pressure falls to Ledian Ndreka. An absolute stalwart of this club in the holding role. So much ability, but not known for his finishing. Left-footed, Ledian Ndreka sends Hemel Hempstead Town to the semi-finals for the first ever time. We stay in Europe. I mean, no one can argue it's not deserved, but we've got to be concerned about the lack of goal threat there. Barca going down to 10. Maybe it harmed us in the end, but we're through. And I don't really care how, quite frankly. Let's go and see who we're facing in the semis, and then plan when we're going to next be back. Well, what a performance from Manchester City, within 3 points of us at the top of the Premier League table, albeit with more played. We've actually only lost 1 game all season, but so many draws holding us back. Now let's go and have a look at who we've got in the semis. It is Bayern Munich. Oh, this is going to be amazing. A reunion with Mario Ricca and with Tyrese Ricketts. Both of them part of the Bayern front line. That is going to be a huge next episode. Let's see when it's planned to be. We will be back for a few weeks' time. There's 2 games separating the 2 legs. And that's a horrible schedule. How have we had 8 days off now? And then we're going to have 4 games in 8 days. Someone explain that to me. So we're going to be throwing some Premier League matches anyway. But we are going to be back. I think for Arsenal and the second leg of Bayern Munich. Hopefully we're still in it after the away leg. But it is a tough run in the Premier League too. United, Southampton and Arsenal. If we start dropping points, there could be an interesting title race yet. For now though, we've made Champions League history. We are 2 steps away from completing this save. Let me know down in the comments if you think we can do it. And if you did enjoy this episode, do add a thumbs up on it. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content as we come back in 2 days to find out if we can edge closer. In the meantime though, you can find all the other key playlists and the Twitch channel up in the eye above. Loads of streams this week, so come and follow us over there if you haven't already. Links to all the other platforms in the description below, as well as ways to support the channel. It's going to be a dramatic one here next time out, but we had big drama yesterday with Viborg too. The closest title race I think I've ever been involved in. Check it out above my head now. See you next time.